does go with Overlord. All right, yeah, so Split Up is going to go so insanely hard right now. And thanks for the life gain, my friend. You're not attacking with these two creatures, that we know. That we know. So we will definitely flip Oko. We're going to go ahead and name Fish right now. Little fish, not jellyfish or starfish. That's funny that those are creature types, though. So yeah, these ones get a nice little plus. We'll gift you a tapped fish. We'll go ahead and name fish ourselves. We'll create a fish token. And then it's our turn. And then with Oko, we will 100% transform him. And then we'll get the sweet little emblem. And guys, you already know we are naming fish. Not jellyfish, not starfish. Just a fish. Nice +6/+6. Oh, no hexproof though. But yeah, bop. GG opponent. Nice trying to play with Aurora Awakener. I will be honest, your Aang's Icebergs, pretty annoying, but yeah, keeping that Into the Flood Maw to bounce their one Aang's Iceberg to give us back our Chronicle of Victory. Go ahead and name Fish right when we got the Oko ult. Let's go. GG. Hey there, neighbor. Welcome to another MTG Arena Standard video, and I have a question for you. What type of love do you love? It is currently Valentine's Day today, and while in real life, my wife is of course my Valentine's, but in MTG Arena, I would definitely choose Oko to be my Valentine. New Planeswalker from the Lorwyn Eclipsed set. Look at this boy right here. Got the 6-pack, flexing the bicep for you guys. But yeah, this 3-mana Planeswalker, which is amazing. 3 mana, pretty low on the mana curve cost, so you can get him down pretty early. 2 generic and 1 blue. Comes in with 3 loyalty counters, and he has a flip side to him. At the beginning of our first main phase, we can spend 1 green mana to flip him. Of course, that is your next turn that you can flip him, so the turn that he comes down, you can either go with a +2, where a creature gains all creature types, and this effect doesn't end, and we have a pretty funny creature type that we might name, you probably won't guess it right away, or you can go with a +1, where a target creature gets -2 to their power until the end of our next turn, which is really nice because it's a way to, you know, kind of neuter a creature that the opponent might have, help keep Oko alive. And then, like I said, at the beginning of our first main phase, we can flip Oko into Shadowmoor Scion, where he has a bunch of minus abilities. -1, we don't care about. -3 is kind of nice. Create 2 3/3 green elk tokens. And then his -6 ability, we choose a creature type, and then we get an emblem where that creature type gets a nice little +3/+3. They gain vigilance and hexproof. And the creature type that we're probably going to be naming is an elk, because his -3 ability, we get to create some elks. And then another elk that is in standard right now that's a really, really good one is Beza, the Bounding Spring. For 4 mana, we get a 4 power, 5 toughness elk as well. And then finally, a new card that I have already tried to play with. It just didn't perform super well for me in my Sliver deck. But from the Lorwyn Eclipse set, this legendary artifact, Chronicle of Victory, we can name a creature type. So again, we'll probably name Elf, and then Elk. And then all Elks will get a nice little +2/+2. They gain First Strike and Trample, which is really nice. And then whenever we cast a spell with the chosen type, we draw a card. That's not that relevant. And it does cost 6 mana, which is kind of expensive. Oko as well. Like I said, we do kind of want to build our way up to his -6 ability, which will take a few turns, of course. So with this deck, we're looking to go into the late game a little bit, so we need a way to kind of control the board. I've already been over Beza, really, really good creature that can help you stabilize. But then, of course, we are playing with some board wipes, Pinnacle Starcage for the early game creatures, Split Up just to clear the board, and Seam Rip. These are all great ways of removing creatures. Seam Rip is, of course, a single target removal. Into the Flood Maw, kind of in the same vein as Seam Rip. You can go ahead and bounce a creature back to the opponent's hand, which is nice that you can do this at instant speed. We have Authority of the Consuls, just to slow the opponent down a little bit. And then It'll Quench Ya. Opponent, it's tax season, you have to pay the 2. We can counter a spell unless they pay the 2. 3 steps ahead can be a counter spell as well. Ideally, you want to work your way up to 5 mana, because then 3 steps ahead is counter spell and draw some cards for us, which is really nice. Consult the star charts, another really, really premium blue card for some card draw as well. And then, yeah, we also have another new creature from the Lorwyn Eclipse set, Mutable Explorer. Absolutely love this guy. For 3 mana, we get a 1/1. Not the best stat-wise, but he's a shapeshifter, so he does count as an elk, and you get to create the Mutavault land token. You can spend 1 mana to make this land a 2/2 creature with all creature types, so that does include elk as well. So yeah, a little bit of ramp with the Mutable Explorer. He also can just be a body to block to help us keep or stay alive as well. And then in the ramp package, we're also going with Omenpath Journey. I absolutely love this card. I never see anyone play it just because it's not that good, but for 4 mana, you get this enchantment down. You get to look for 5 different named lands in your deck, take them out of your deck, and then at the beginning of your end step, you can put one of those lands at random onto the battlefield. So we play, you can see from the land package, it is a mess. That is because we need 5 different named lands. Probably the best ones to pull out would, of course, be these tapped Surveil lands, because then on our end step, there's a chance that we can put one of these Surveil lands onto the battlefield, get to Surveil, so then our next draw step, we can kind of procure that, which is really, really nice as well. And then Doubling Season, this is a little bit of a, janky card to include this deck. If you were to create a token, you create twice that many instead. And if you put counters on anything, you put twice that many counters. That does include the Planeswalker loyalty counters. So if we do have a Doubling Season down before we have an Oko, then when we go to play Oko, well, then he does come in with 6 loyalty counters on him. And again, we can't instantly go for his ultimate ability because we do need to wait until our next turn to flip him over. But then when we do flip him over, well, then he does have 6 loyalty. We could go for -3 to create 2 elk tokens. But of course, with Doubling Season, those 2 elks become 4 elks as well. So yeah, that's the deck that we're rocking with today. Let's just jump into some games, see if this Oko can get us some wins. I'll see you guys there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go first. I was going to say we do have an authority, but that might have to be the turn 2 play because we'll get Meticulous Archive on turn 1. We'll go with authority on turn 2, and then turn 3, Oko. Okay. Hopefully the opponent isn't too aggressive. A 4th land drop. I think I will keep a Fountainport. I will go ahead and keep a Fountainport. And it looks to be potentially mono-white life gain. So having their creatures come in tapped is really nice. Them gaining life is actually really nice with Beza. So next turn, we're getting Oko down Xiao. And then, ooh, Dollmaker Shop. Interesting. Okay. There is the Doubling Season as well. I think we'll still get Oko down right now. And then we'll go ahead with the +2. Submit 0. And then maybe we honestly go with Doubling Season? Maybe we go with Doubling Season. Let's see what the opponent plays. Just Caretaker's Talent. No tokens yet. So we're going to decline this one. And honestly, I am going to go for Omenpath Journey. We get to search 5 lands. Of course, we want, I think, Fountainport, the Surveil land number 1, Surveil land number 2, the creature land, and we already found the Meticulous Archive, so the last land, I guess, can just be a Hallowed Fountain. And again, we can just go for a nice little +2. Gonna go ahead and submit 0. And next turn, definitely don't need a forest. So there, the Surveil is really nice. Next turn, I think we will flip Oko, and we will look to go with the emblem right away. We'll look to go with the emblem right away. There it is, Carrot Cake. So they get to create a token. Does come in tapped. We gain some life for that. Opponent also gains some life. They probably are playing with quite a few board wipes. Just this creature heavy deck. They do want to play with quite a few board wipes. So we will auto pay. And then we do have double white for Beza, which is nice. So we will just instantly go for the emblem. We're going to go ahead and name Elk. And then Beza can come down. It's a nice little +3. Get to create the fish tokens and even draw a card, find a land, and we get Restless Anchorage online. So I can dig it. I can dig it. Maybe we'll go with a doubling season. Maybe we'll go with a doubling season. Ooh, Felidar Retreat. So now whenever they play a land, they get to create the cat token. Ooh, this is honestly pretty scary because they can upgrade the Caretaker's Talent and the Dollmaker's Shop. And the opponent has his own authority, so pretty nice. Cool deck from the opponent. Consult the star charts. I don't think we need to look for an answer right now, so I will auto pay right there. And I think we do go with doubling season. And then Oko, we're going to go ahead and do a nice little +2. This creature becomes all creature types, so that means he becomes an elk, so he gets the vigilance and the hexproof. So that's a free attack right there. And opponent, yeah, you can block. You're going to need a block. Bap, bap. You lose your 2 tokens. And Hallowed Fountain can enter tapped. I think it always enters tapped, right? This one says put the land onto the battlefield tapped. So even if we did choose to pay the 2, it comes in tapped. So next turn we have a juicy Consult the Star Charts. Opponent with a Enduring Innocence. Does come in tapped, though. Does come in tapped. Opponent creates the cat token. Opponent does create the cat token. And honestly, I think a split up would be pretty nice. Split up would actually go hard right now. A split up would go pretty hard right now. Opponent does remove our Oko. That is a little bit unfortunate. We do get 4 map tokens thanks to the doubling season. So let's honestly go for a kicked Consult the Star Charts, and we'll definitely take a split up and another Oko. So I think we can get Oko down. And then you already know he has 6 counters, which is really nice. We'll go ahead and make this fish all creature types. So this guy's an elf. And then, you know what? Let's see what card is on top. We'll go ahead and pump this fish up. It's just a land, and we haven't played a land for turns, so we'll drop this one. And again, we'll try and pump this fish up. Another Beza? I mean, we keep him. And then that's an all-out attack. Opponent's taking 10 damage, which is pretty nice. Bap, bap, bap. Get another Surveil land. We already know it's Beza on top, and I think we'll keep him. And then next turn we'll flip Oko. We can go for another emblem. I think we can go ahead and name Fish. Then. These ones are all creature types, which are pretty funny. So then they would get another +3, it is, right? Yeah, so another +3 to our fish tokens. And then with Fountainport, we can start creating some fish tokens, even though they do have authority of the consuls. So yeah, here I think Split Up is going to have to do a little bit of work for us. And unfortunately, we don't have a way of giving our creatures flying. I guess Restless Anchorage could also do it. Restless Anchorage does go with Overlord. All right, yeah, so Split Up is going to go so insanely hard right now. And thanks for the life gain, my friend. You're not attacking with these 2 creatures. That we know. So we will definitely flip Oko. We're going to go ahead and name Fish right now. Little fish. Not jellyfish or starfish. That's funny that those are creature types, though. So yeah, these ones get a nice little plus. And then, let's see. 1, 2, how much mana do we have? We have 9 mana, so Consult the Star Charts will be pretty nice. Let's go ahead and pump up this fish right here. A Rest in Peace. Don't think we need that one. And then I think we can go ahead and crack this one onto the Elk. It's just a land. Haven't played a land for turn, so we will go ahead and do that. If we flip Restless Anchorage, I think we'll still have 3 mana left over. But maybe let's just do this just to be sure. We're going to go ahead and destroy all tapped creatures. So you lose your Overlord, you lose all those, and then indeed, we still have enough to go with the Restless Anchorage, but we could also create a fish on the opponent's turn. Maybe let's do that instead, actually. This is a free 7 damage that we're getting through. That's not the correct block, my friend, but okay. I mean, you're losing this Enduring Innocence, so you should block the bigger creature. You gain 2 life for that. You gain 2 life for that, and we'll just go ahead and end the turn. Got another Fountainport. So yeah, each turn we can create 2 fish tokens that do get doubled thanks to Doubling Season. So that is really nice. And I mean, they are just base fish, but they will get a nice little +3/+3. So yeah, really fun game right here. Too bad we don't have a way of giving our creatures flying. Opponent creates the token. Every single creature that they're creating right now, they do come in tapped. So opponent does need a board wipe. Opponent will need a board wipe. We are gaining some life for this. They do get to draw quite a few cards. They're down to 37. We're down to 34, but we did take 5 cards out of our library thanks to Omenpath. And there it is. Opponent does have it. Do we have a 2-mana counter spell? We do have It'll Quench Ya, right? But opponent has to pay 2 for that. So, all right, opponent, you can have that one. You can have that one. There's Overlord. That's fine. Gonna impend that one. So opponent is tapped out. You do gain life for that, but so do we. And then we will create the fish token. Oh, yeah, and we create 2 fish tokens. Let's absolutely go. I love Doubling Season. So that's 8 damage to the opponent. Restless Anchorage. We will transform Oko. We're going to make this fish all creature types, so he gets a nice big bonus to his power. So that's 7. Oh, we're pretty close. Honestly, we're pretty close. If we do it like this, and then a nice all-out attack. Nice all-out attack. We get to create a map token. So opponent is down to 4. Again, we can create a fish token and another fish token. I think I will shock this one in just to have as much mana available to us as possible. And I think we'll just end the turn. How much mana do we have? 2, 4, 6. We have 7 mana available. Again, your board wipe's not the most impactful because we can create 2 fish tokens, which of course do get doubled. So we can create 4 fish tokens. Any tokens that the opponent creates actually come in tapped. So I think we have the opponent. I guess he could have a few get loss, but again, our fish tokens have hexproof, which is really nice. And I mean, sure. Yeah, Oko's done his job. He's done more than his job. We got 2 ultimates from 2 different Okos. Let's go. Yeah, opponent, any creatures you make, they come in tapped thanks to authority. Day of Judgment is sorcery speed. Yeah, there it is, Day of Judgment. But yeah, it's just not quite good enough. You're going to have to remove Doubling Season. You do create 1 token, but it comes in tapped. And you draw a card. You draw 2 cards. 2 cards that you draw. So good for you. Another Caretaker's Talent. Again, you can make a copy of this beast right here, but I'm pretty sure we have the opponent. Because our creatures do gain hexproof. So yeah, this was a great game. Saw all the cards I love. Doubling Season, Omenpath Journey, 2 Oko alts. Let's absolutely go. And it's these little fish that are honestly putting in the work. Opponent does gain some life for that, but again, you're only up to 6, and we're creating 4 4/4 creature tokens. So that's 12 damage right there. You have just 1 land. This Overlord still impending, so pay 1 life, create 2 fish tokens. That's worth it for me because they are 4/4s. Well, opponent has his own. That's 8. Pretty sure you gain 2 more life, so you go up to 10. Forgot that the opponent had his own. Opponent had his own Authority of the Consuls. Even found a Seam Rip to get rid of one of these tokens, and we can attack with the Anchorage as well. So this was, yeah, just all around perfect game, just like we drew it up. Just like we drew it up. And I guess transforming this Restless Anchorage, I guess with these map tokens, could start putting some counters on him. And I actually wish that the opponent didn't attack down our Oko last turn, because I wonder if we transform the Restless Anchorage, and with Oko, if we go with this +2, where a target creature, because this says it becomes a creature until the end of the turn, right? It says a blue bird. That is a creature type. I have a feeling with Oko, we could maybe give our Restless Anchorage all creature types, and then I think he would also get, I think it would get the +3 and +3. So, wow. Yeah, this was a great game. GG. Opponent gets to go first. I will keep this hand. It is 3 lands. Let's see. Demir Gamer. That always feels terrible, but maybe Into the Flood Maw can help us out. Let's say Pilfer. They get to choose a non-land card and make us discard. So Pinnacle Starcage, probably going to be useless. They probably take Consult the Star Charts, I would imagine, which is what they do. Find our 3rd Into the Flood Maw. All right, well. Opponent, what are you working with? Draw cards and then discard. Playing with an Arden. Fun. I was going to say, if we could draw a Rest in Peace, that would be amazing. If we could draw a Rest in Peace, that would be amazing. We definitely want Fountainport, and then these Surveil lands, Creature land. That's how we do it. All right, Fountainport, Surveil land would have been nicer. So opponent could pull back Arden right now, but he has no creature in the graveyard. No creature in the graveyard. There is a Deceit. The opponent gets to look at our hand. Probably takes Pinnacle Starcage, but Into the Flood Maw, maybe also a good one. Opponent might have a Not Dead After All. No. So yeah, he's looking to reanimate Arden. Ooh, those are some pretty terrible hits. Oh, man. Why are our draws so terrible? All right, we do get to Surveil. I mean, a 4th. We found literally all 4 Into the Flood Maws when we are a quarter of the way through our library. That is kind of wild. I really hope we can find a Rest in Peace, but opponent is just going to play another Deceit, even though, I mean, you know everything that's in our hand. You know everything that's in our hand. Yeah, there it is, Deceit. Paid it with a double black. So again, you just drop off 1 Into the Flood Maw. Opponent's playing with green. That's interesting. We haven't seen any green cards, actually. Dredger's Insight is what the green is for. Opponent is more or less tapped out. I really hope we could top deck a Rest in Peace. It's a 5% chance for us. All right, let's go ahead, create that fish token. And opponent gets to impend that one. All right, 5% chance. Oh my gosh, guys, let's absolutely go. I guess he could have a Spell Snare. That does specifically counter a 2-mana card, but your graveyard, get him out of here. Get that graveyard trash out of here, boy. And that's why we included Rest in Peace. We were playing up against a few too many graveyard shenanigan type of decks, so Yeah, your Deceits are gone. Arden is gone. Got a creature land hitting the battlefield. Yeah, your Kavero, just a 4-mana 4/4 that you love to see. That you love to see. You can have that creature, that's fine. And I think we will look to draw a card. Sack this token right here. Does this deck play with any counter spells? Doubling Season is nice. Okay. All right. All right, guys. We're starting to cook a little bit. Another Rest in Peace. We'll go with this one. Is there a counter spell? No counter spell. And I guess we'll look to create 2 fish tokens on the opponent's turn. Opponent is more or less halfway through their deck. They're down to just 36 cards. And what have we seen? Requiting Hex, Winter Story. There's a Oko. Oh, and he's going to come in with double counters. Let's go, guys. Even though he does play Bitter Triumph, he's down 3 Bitter Triumphs, though. Yeah, I'll pay 1 life. Create 2 fish tokens. And then I will block with 1 of them. All right. I think this is... It goes with another one of those dudes. That's fine. So opponent has 3 mana to work with. 3 mana to work with. There's our Oko that we knew we were drawing. Oh, does the opponent have a counter spell? No. All right. This creature becomes all creature types. So he's not just a fish. Opponent might have a Bitter Triumph. Dude. 4 Bitter Triumphs in the top half of his library. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of unfortunate, but I mean, hey, when you got it like that, you got it like that. We will just end the turn. Look to create some more fish tokens. No attacks from us. And we do get some surveil action. Oh, it's another Oko on top. That you love to see. And let's count it, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 Bitter Triumphs. 36 cards the guy still had. So not even halfway through his deck. And he did find all of them. All right. Well, here comes some more fish tokens. This one right here. Create a fish token. And I don't want to use Into the Flood Maw, so we'll just keep our life total as high as possible. We'll look to keep our life total as high as possible. And opponent, you just have 2 cards in hand. I guess the Overlord does come online. Overlord does come online. But here's Oko for you. We'll go ahead and say that this little fish... Wait, no. Not -2. Maybe we say that this one gets -2. Let's just do it like that. And then, yeah, we just pass the turn. No attacks. End the turn. Again, we can create 2 fish tokens thanks to the doubling season. So I think this is the game where we'll be able to pull it off. No way that the opponent has any more Planeswalker removal. And opponent is not even attacking, so that you love to see. Create a little fish token. And again, since we have doubling season, we create 2 fish tokens. We're going to go ahead and pass. Opponent, those triggers do nothing. And now with Oko, nice little flip. Oh, pay the 1 green. I'll do that. And look at this, guys. Choose a creature type. You guys already know which creature type we're going to choose. When the opponent lets it go, not sure what the priority is. But we are going to name, it's right there. It's Fish. Name little Fish. These guys get a nice little +3/+3. This one can enter tap. That's fine. Do we just attack with everyone? Yeah, they do have Vigilance, so I think we do. That's just an all-out attack. Opponent, you can block with these creatures, but, I mean, that's not a favorable trade for you. You will lose those creatures. And our little fish, powerful fish with vigilance, hexproof. Could bounce their Overlord, but no need. Oh, he double blocked that one. Okay, I see what the opponent's working with. And yeah, I think that this deck right here, I'm pretty sure a big YouTuber played it the other day. And yeah, we just absolutely crushed them. The Rest in Peace, I mean, I asked for it. I said it was a 5% chance to draw it, and we did draw it. You absolutely love when that happens. Your one special tech card just completely shut this deck down. And, I mean, yeah, that's lethal. These 2 Into the Flood Maws that we've been holding on to forever. Opponent needs to play a creature right now. But he didn't. So, yeah, we'll transform Oko. We'll say a nice little +2. This fish can become all creature types. And then Into the Flood Maw, gonna go ahead and bounce this Overlord back to your hand. This Into the Flood Maw that we've been holding on to since the start of the game, bounce this guy back to your hand. And opponent, you need a flash creature right now. And if you don't have it, then that is GG. And against this top tier deck, trying to do some graveyard shenanigans, do it with me, guys. Keep your backhand strong and say, "Bat, get him out of here, GG." All right, I'm not sure the opponent's here because they did burn their entire timer down before choosing to take a mulligan or not. But I mean, yeah, it does look like he's here. And you guys believe it? We'll go ahead and tell Grand to get out of here. It's a lesson deck, and I'll be honest, guys. Well, I mean, they are splashing black, so it's not your is it lesson deck. So maybe we'll hold on to Into the Flood Maw for a more important creature. I guess we could go with 1, consult the star charts right now. The Storm Chaser's Talent type of deck. I mean, Pinnacle Starcage would go pretty hard. Honestly, I was kind of looking for a... What was I looking for? Maybe a land drop. Lush Portico, pretty nice. Can go ahead and surveil, see what's on top. I will take the blue source, and then we can keep Into the Flood Maw available. Go ahead and bounce his Otter that you might look to put a lot of counters on with the Prowess ability. Grand, they also get to loot as well, which is pretty annoying. There's a Boomerang Basics, and is the opponent going to pump up? Doesn't look like it. And then, I mean, I think this is a pretty easy Into the Flood Maw. Go ahead and bounce that creature. And then we'll look to go with a 3 steps ahead. Or maybe a kicked consult the star charts on their turn. Maybe make them tap out. There's a Fear of Isolation to bounce the Storm Chaser's Talent. Attacks with Gran for the looting ability. And he drops off a Tiny Bones. Punches in for 1. So Beza also going to be a really nice draw. So yeah, let's go with a Consult the Star Charts, and we will go ahead and kick it. Split up. Well, maybe next turn when he fully attacks, and then I guess another Consult the Star Charts. So do we just go for a split up right now? That's 3 mana, then we would have 2 mana. Not really enough to do anything. Remove both these creatures. I think we do that, though. We'll go ahead and destroy. Beza also gains us life. Doesn't draw us a card. You know what? Let's go with Beza. We do get to create some tokens, and then we can get a Temple Garden. Don't need to shock it in. And I mean, he's probably not attacking with Gran. Maybe if he removes our Beza. Opponent does shock that one in. And he goes with a Fear of Isolation to bounce the Storm Chaser's Talent. To play a Storm Chaser's Talent, and he just has 1 mana to work with. And I don't think he'll attack. If the opponent doesn't attack right now, then a split up might be one of the juiciest things in the world right now, which it is. So we will just go ahead, all out attack. All out attack. Opponent 1 block, 2 blocks, 3 blocks. Bop, bop, bop. Get those otters out of here. And then how about you just go ahead, destroy all untapped creatures. Just have to double check that sometimes. And we'll go ahead, end the turn. Could keep up a 3 steps ahead, or even go for a consult the star charts. Don't have enough to kick it, but we could look 6 cards deep, choose one of them. I think Oko might be a pretty nice draw. I don't see any way. I guess Boomerang Basics could answer our Oko, but yeah, opponent did not like that one bit. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of like a bounce deck, which is one of my least favorite things to play against. So whenever you can beat a deck that you despise, you know what we say, guys. Keep your backhand strong. Bap. Get him out of here. GG. All right, guys. Opponent gets to go first. This is a turn 4 split up because we have just nothing but tap lands. Maybe we can find a untapped land along the way, then it could be a turn 3 split up. If it's not, though, like I said, turn 4 split up. Can we survive until turn 4? Let's find out. Because we do have Beza to help us stabilize, and we even have a doubling season as well. So, opponent is looking to be, I think, the Aurora Awakener deck. So, tap land from them. Consult the star charts. I think we will keep that. And I think we can survive until turn 4. Yeah, especially with all these tap lands from the opponent. Especially from all these tap lands from the opponent. Oh, nothing. Okay, that you love to see. I think we'll just surveil right now. Omenpath Journey for some extra ramp. You know what? We'll keep it. I do like that card. I do like that card. And if the opponent doesn't do anything this turn, then we can get it down. Ooh, opponent, I think, missed a land drop. Okay, yeah, this is awesome. Here comes Omenpath Journey. Opponent could have some enchantment removal. Could definitely have some enchantment removal. There is a stick right now, so I think it is. It's not strictly enchantment removal, but I think we'll take a bunch of these lands out. Oh, that was only 4. I should have done 5 because we are losing them because it's not on the battlefield. It's underneath their Aang's Iceberg. 3 steps ahead for a counter spell. Honestly, I think we just go with a kicked consult the star charts. I think we just go with a kick, consult the star charts. Opponent's missing their land drops. There they do hit it eventually, which is nice for them. That is nice for them. And I think we're looking for an Oko and a land, because then we can get down doubling season and then play Oko. Of course, you could have another Aang's Iceberg. Oh, I'll take the land drop and authority then. And I think we'll just keep open It'll Quench Ya. Could also keep open a 3 steps ahead. It does, of course, depend on what the opponent plays. But they're honestly not doing anything, really. I mean, I think they took a mulligan, and they got the Leyline of the Guild Pack in their opening hand, which, I mean, is kind of a dead card. Ill-timed Explosion. Nah, you want to be drawing some cards. We're not going to allow that, buddy. Might have a lot of kill spells, stuff like that. So, I think we have 6 mana. That's kind of crazy. I still think we go with Doubling Season. I think we go with Doubling Season. Do we have a way of removing Aang's Iceberg? Yeah, we do. We have Into the Flood Maw. We do have an Into the Flood Maw. So I'm pretty sure the opponent is playing with Aurora Awakener. They use Seam Rip to get rid of our Authority of the Consuls. And there's an Aang's Iceberg. Ay, ay, ay. Rest in peace. I don't think they're doing anything with their graveyard. So I think we'll just look to counter their next spell and draw a few cards. Maybe drop off a Split Up. There is Bloom Tender. It doesn't have haste, so we can hit that one with the Split Up next turn. That's fine. Got some cool art for that one. And it does have some cool art for that one. But, I mean, if the opponent doesn't do anything, let's actually just create the fish token. Let's create the fish token. There is the Mutable Explorer. Not really what we want. So we'll just punch in like that. Opponent definitely doesn't take the trade, and we will go ahead and destroy all untapped creatures. So you do lose your Bloom Tender. I know you want that one to tap for 5 mana. And we'll just keep open to 3 steps ahead. Yeah, that guy, we'll go ahead and counter him. Counter that spell. And then, I mean, honestly, I guess just with Chronicle of Victory, I think we'll just go ahead and name fish again. Honestly, it seems like we've been naming fish so often with this deck. So, nice little trample and first strike. 2/4 opponent just has 5 mana. I think Aurora Awakener is 7 mana. Seems like he has another Aang's Iceberg. No, it's just that guy. Consult the star charts. Honestly, I think we just go with another split up. So we'll go ahead and attack in. What does this guy do? At the beginning of your first main, reveal cards. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and hit them with the nice little split up. Destroy all untapped creatures. Here comes the little Mutable Explorer, who does count as a fish. Oh, and we get to draw a card because we played a fish creature. Play the land, and we do have a Consult the Star Charts to look 9 cards deep. I can dig it. I can dig it. Honestly, maybe look for a Into the Flood Maw. Bounce. Bounce something of theirs. They go with a Nowhere to Run. That honestly seems pretty desperate. That seems pretty desperate. Honestly, we could also just look for another counter spell. Unfortunately, can't kick it. But yeah, we'll go ahead and look 9 cards deep. Opponent has his own Aang's Iceberg, probably to take our Chronicle of Victory. And do we take Oko then? Into the Flood Maw does give us back. But we do just end up bouncing. Honestly, I think we'll take Oko. Nice little Surveil action. Seam Rip. It can take their Seam Rip away, and then we do get Authority back. Is that worth it? I think we can do better than that. And then here comes Oko. And then, honestly, I think we just attack with this land right here. We'll say that this fish can become all creature types. Create the map token. And let's go ahead and pump up the Restless Anchorage with a Into the Flood Maw. That is exactly what I want. 2, 4, 5. So opponent still only has 5 mana. Opponent only has 5 mana. I'm pretty sure Aurora Awakener's 7 mana. So this guy found all of his Aang's Iceberg in the top quarter of his deck and none of his actual land cards or ramp cards. So I can dig it. So Oko, we're going to decline that one. We will say that this fish becomes all creature types. And next turn, we can transform Oko. We can name fish, so then all of our fish, I mean, they gain hexproof. Of course, Nowhere to Run kind of stops that from happening, which is unfortunate. And yeah, we'll just keep open Into the Flood Maw. No need to really play anything out. Opponent, what do you want to do? It looks, I have a feeling they're going to sack one of these. They are desperate for some lands, most likely. And I'm going to hit him with it, guys. We're going to say lands, am I right? Oh, he doesn't. He's holding on to these. I think the opponent definitely should have given us Omenpath Journey back. I mean, we have 10 lands at this point. Yeah, you know, pulling 5 lands out of our deck, not doing the most for us right now. So, honestly, I think we do it like this. Nice little Into the Flood Maw. We'll go ahead and gift you a fish token. Do we get back our Chronicles of Victory? They can flash that in, but they don't have 3 mana. I think we do. We'll gift you a tapped fish. We'll go ahead and name fish ourselves. We'll create a fish token. And then it's our turn. And then with Oko, we will 100% transform him. And then we'll get the sweet little emblem. And guys, you already know we are naming fish. Not jellyfish, not starfish, just a fish. Nice +6/+6. Oh, no hexproof though. But yeah, bop, bop. GG opponent. Nice trying to play with Aurora Awakener. I will be honest, your Aang's Icebergs, pretty annoying, but yeah, keeping that Into the Flood Maw to bounce their one Aang's Iceberg to give us back our Chronicle of Victory. Go ahead and name fish right when we got the Oko ult. Let's go. GG. All right, we got to go first. Hopefully we can find a third land drop because then that is a nice, juicy Oko on turn 3. Do have 2 Into the Flood Maws to maybe help keep us alive. Opponent goes with Watery Grave. They go with the Fairy. Does have Ward 2, so we actually can't target him with Oko. That's a little bit unfortunate. But that one does have a few counters on them, so it looks to be a Fairy deck. Looks to be a Fairy deck, and then this Fairy that they play, we'll go ahead and bounce this one. Bounce that one right away. And then Fountainport can go ahead and enter. I guess we'll get the forest down. So here comes Oko. And then we will just do a nice little +2. We'll submit no one. Opponent could have a Bitter Triumph. Opponent could have a Bitter Triumph. Opponent could untap that creature. I guess he could untap that creature, right? He goes with that Fairy. But no, it looks like he does nothing. That's fine. Pinnacle Starcage actually really nice. We're going to decline that one. Oh, we don't have the double white for Pinnacle Starcage. Ooh. Then, yeah, I guess with the Mutable Explorer, this one might eat a counterspell. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Opponent definitely has a counterspell where you counter a spell equal to the number of fairies you control. I'm pretty sure that's how that one works. Yeah, there it is. Spell Stutter. That's fine. I think with Oko, we can give this one -2. I guess the opponent could untap that Fairy right now, but he is spending not all his mana to do that, but a good chunk of it. So maybe we can hit him with the Pinnacle Starcage. Yeah. Pay extra for each Fairy you control. So hopefully the opponent missed a land drop. He did not, and he shocks that one in to have 2 mana open. That's pretty rough. That is pretty rough. And yeah, he goes after our Kona. Or not Arcona. I just played against a Kona deck. Oh, we missed the land drop, which does suck. Could create some elf tokens, but we're gonna decline that one. And then I think we'll just do a... We'll give this creature -1. We'll maybe look to bounce this Sleep Cursed Fairy. Maybe that will eat a counterspell from them, and I'm really hoping... that we find a land drop. We need 4 mana and then tap this one to create the treasure token. So we kind of need to hit a white mana source. All right, this one we are going to bounce. Yes, I'm sure. Pay the ward 2. Opponent could have his own counterspell. Opponent could definitely have his own counterspell. He's holding on to something. Could give his creature hexproof. But, I mean, if the opponent does counter this, Pickpocket Prankster to mill some cards. All right, he's playing with a lot of very, very low mana creatures. Like, we haven't seen anything I guess he takes that one. That one is 3 mana, so he can redeploy that. This is just mana value 2 or less. All right, opponent, what are you doing? Going to play a 3 mana fairy, maybe a 1 mana fairy and another 2 mana fairy. I would love if he did that. I would also love if you hurried up a little tiny bit. There you go. It's a 3 mana fairy. That is a little bit unfortunate. Do hit the land drop, but it comes in untapped. That's a big yikes. Again, we're going to decline that. This one, Surveil. We'll keep another one on top just because I think we are. He's dealing 3 damage to us. Yeah, so we're losing this Oko. If we give him +2, he goes up to 4. He has 5 damage. That is a little bit unfortunate. We'll still say that this one, 0 power. So yeah, we are losing this Oko. I hope he plays out a few more kind of cheap fairies. This 3 mana fairy, maybe we'll counter it. But yeah, we are losing Oko. We are losing Oko. And then the opponent, what do you do? Say 1 mana fairy, that's fine. I'll hover over the Fountainport like that's the only thing that's holding priority, but it's not. 3 mana fairy. I hope you play that one. Oh, this one is also 3 mana, so that's a little bit unfortunate. There it is, a 2 mana fairy. That I like. Gonna drain us again. And it's our turn. All right, so here comes the Pinnacle Starcage. And we still have 2 mana for It'll Quench Ya. So if this is a counter spell, then the opponent has just 1 card in hand. I mean, this fairy does stay alive, which is a little bit unfortunate. This one's also a really good one. Instants and sorceries cost 1 less. That's crazy. All right. I think we have the opponent in a pretty nice spot, though, because we have a It'll Quench Ya when he taps out a little bit more than that. Yeah, he plays that one first, which is nice. Well, now he knows that we have something that is holding priority, but again, opponent sequenced it wrong. I think this is a much better creature to get rid of. So we'll definitely get rid of that one. Punch in for 2. So opponent just 1 card in hand. Mutable Explorer is pretty nice, actually. But yeah, we'll go with Oko. And then this creature gets -2. So Oko +1 loyalty. This guy's just dealing 1 damage. That's fine. So we have a Beza coming in next turn, so we'll gain some life, which will be pretty nice. Create some tokens. Maybe even draw a card. 6. We're also creating a treasure token. Does the opponent have a pump spell? Wow, he does. That is kind of crazy. What a card from the opponent. Lush Portico. All right, if you play this one, 2, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have to play Beza because then we do create the treasure token. We're going to gain some life. Please just don't be a counter spell. I don't think the opponent has it. If it was, he would have jammed it. He would have definitely jammed it. So yeah, Beza hits the battlefield. We get to create a treasure token and create 2 fish tokens. We can play this land right now. Surveil. Hallowed Fountain. Definitely don't need that one. Definitely don't need that one. And yeah, gaining 4 life is pretty nice because we're back up to 19. We have 6 damage on board. Opponent only has 4 damage on board, so we definitely win this trade. We definitely win this trade, buddy. Yeah, opponent attacks all in. This one does have vigilance, which is kind of annoying. Authority is pretty nice. Authority is really nice, actually. And I think what we do, I think with this one, on the opponent's turn, well, we won't have enough mana then. Because how much is it? Oh, we will have enough. Well, we'd have to sack the land token. I think that's worth it. We'll get down the Mutable Explorer. Oh, we can actually sack a fish token, which is pretty nice. So we can go in, smack the opponent for a little bit. You have another fairy you can flash in, give this one base power and toughness of a 4/4. Our creature gets -2. Wow. Alright, opponent really had it like that. Playing with some crazy tech cards. Playing with a pretty cool fairy deck, I will give that to them. We'll go ahead and sack this fish token. Alright, we do have to draw something kind of good. Restless Anchorage, really not it. Can't play a land for turn. This one is a 2/3. So we can at least block some of his fairies now, which will be pretty nice. Even though we are taking quite a bit of damage. 3 steps ahead, also really nice. So yeah, we'll just pass it on to the opponent's turn. No attacks from us. End the turn. Opponent gets to scry. Opponent gets to scry, pass. I guess I could also make a copy of the Pinnacle Starcage, remove these 2 creatures, but then he's left with a 2/3. One does nothing. I think honestly we'll do that. We're gonna, well, let's sack this token first. It's a Consult the Star Charts, which is really nice. So for sure we're going with a kicked Consult the Star Charts, and this is all on the opponent's turn. This is on the opponent's turn, so he could counter this. Honestly, a pretty good spell to counter. He does. We can't pay the 2, which is absolutely terrible. But we do get to draw for turn, and it's a land that we can drop off. So we will go ahead and create a copy of this one. Oh man, these are terrible draws. Holy Toledos. All right, and then we'll play another Authority. And we'll hold on to this land. No attacks from us. End the turn. Opponent's at 14. They do play a fairy. We will gain 2 life, so that will offset this damage right here. So, opponent, what do you want to do? Opponent's thinking about it. Goes with that one. That is pretty annoying. That's a really good fairy. Gonna name a number. Name's 3, so anytime we cast a spell with mana value 3 or greater, we lose 2 life. Opponent does punch in. We're down to 11. And it's our turn. Split up is pretty nice, so I'm gonna 100% eat the 2 damage, destroy all tapped creatures. Take 2 damage for that. I'm fine with that. Opponent does get to draw a card. And then we punch in with the Restless Anchorage and the little Mutavault who could. Nice little 5 damage. So opponent's down to 9. Any creatures you play, they do come in tapped and will gain 2 life off of them. One of them's a land. Let's absolutely go. Unfortunately, Oko couldn't get it done. Opponent had some nice tech cards with this fairy package. But yeah, they're the creature lands getting it done. So GG. I think we can keep this hand. Again, we play just 2 copies of Chronicle of Victory. It's the most expensive card in our entire deck. I have a feeling when you do that, the shuffler is always like, we should give this guy his most expensive card in their deck. And it's like, we don't need this card right now. Doubling Season, ooh. No idea what we're playing against. We are going to risk it. Even though Doubling Season, I mean, this is a super late game play, so... we do have It'll Quench Ya available. Hopefully it's a Badgermole Cub. Kind of like to counter that. Innkeeper's Talent. Still think that's a fine spell to counter. Split Up is a nice draw, even though we have no white mana as of right now. So that's a little bit scary. But we can go for a kick, Consult the Star Charts. Oh, it's a Tifa Lockhart deck. So looking to do a ton of trample damage. All right, there is the white source Definitely don't need another Doubling Season deck. Thank you very much. Please and thank you. All right, no attacks. End the turn. And we go for a kicked Consult the Star Charts and most likely a split up. Even though, well, 2 mana. Opponent has a fight spell. That's fine. That is fine. Oh, Chocobo Kick. To bounce a land back to your hand. You've already played a land for turn, though, I'm pretty sure. No, you haven't, because Tifa hasn't doubled. Of course, it is a crack land. Do you crack it right away, though? Opponent does crack it right away. Opponent does crack it right away. Tifa goes up to 4, so we take 4 damage. It's not the worst. Not the worst. Opponent is all tapped out. We'll go with a Consult the Star Charts. And we'll take the white source for sure. Rest in peace, I don't think we need. Beza could actually be kind of nice. Beza could be kind of nice. And you know what I think we'll do? Do we get down Doubling Season? Opponent. He has a. I need to think about this. If he has Innkeeper's Talent, plays a crack land, Tifa doubles. Honestly, guys, we're gonna risk it. This is a Doubling Season turn. Doubling Season. So opponent, we're more or less tapped out. Add 1 mana of any color. You got it. Play a land. So Tifa dealing 2 damage. Is that it? I think that's it. All right. An opponent does attack with the elf. Ooh, Consult the Star Charts. Also really nice. So do we go with a split up? Destroy all tapped creatures? I think we do. Destroy all tapped creatures. And then we can go for a kicked Consult the Star Charts. This guy has 0 toughness, so I'm not worried about him. Just some mana ramp, but I mean, you can ramp as much as you want, opponent. I'm looking to play a long game myself. Earthbender's Ascension, really cool card. There's a land drop. When this one hits 4 counters on it, then he does get to put counters whenever a land hits the battlefield, but opponent 2 mana to work with. So kicked Consult the Star Charts, get to look 7 cards deep. Pinnacle Starcage. Oh my goodness, guys. We found nothing but lands, a Explorer, and a Pinnacle Starcage. That is pretty rough. That is pretty rough, I can't lie. How do we do this? Mutable Explorer. No, okay, we do Beza first. And since we do have a Doubling Season, we get double the amount of tokens. So there's 4 tokens right there. And then the Mutable Explorer creates 2 of these Mutavault tokens for us. So that's pretty nice. Opponent goes with Ice Till Explorer. Nice combo for the opponent with the Evolving Wilds. But I think next turn we have 9 mana, so we can play Chronicle of Victory. Honestly, we're probably going to name Fish, so then all of these guys get pumped up, and we can attack with a few of these Mutavaults as well. So I was ragging on the game a little bit. I'm like, why did we start with Chronicle of Victory? But it's coming in clutch. Opponent's tapping out to play those cards. That you love to see. Going to pump up the Forest, which is nice. Crack the Evolving Wilds. Probably put another counter on that one. All right, and hopefully that's all the lands you've played for turn. Omenpath Journey, I actually really like this card, but now why is it tapping like that? Tap you, tap you, tap you, you, and you. That's 6 right there. So here comes Chronicle of Victory. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and name Fish, Little Fish, not Jellyfish, not Starfish, just a simple Fish. And then I guess we're still 1 mana short. So I guess the way it tapped was fine. But yeah, we can go ahead and punch in. Opponent only has 2 blockers. Our Fish does have First Strike, so it's pretty nice. This guy does have 5 toughness, which is quite a bit. That's fine. Opponent is taking quite a bit of damage. They're down to 4. Can they deal 17 damage. 3, 4, 5, 6. I only see 6 damage on board. Of course, a lot of cracklands. That's 4 landfall triggers, so that's an additional 4. Here's another one, so that's 5. This creature doesn't have haste. All right, these lands do kind of annoy me when it's holding priority, so... yeah, there's the Evolving Wilds. There's the Evolving Wilds. Opponent with the Chocobo Kick. Pinnacle Starcage. What do we get rid of? We would lose all of our fish tokens. Opponent loses this token. And he would lose some of his Earthbend lands. But then we only have 2 attackers, 3 damage. Well, one of these... We can actually transform these vaults. Okay, I think we can get the opponent. Like I said, I don't think he deals 17 damage. There is a Badgermole Cub. Gonna promote the forest, and why would you not promote that one? That's strange, but hey. Opponent with another It'll Explorer. Alright, that one, I think that's the last Fabled Passage. Oh, opponent even taps some of these lands as well. So 5, 6. It's just these 2 creatures that can attack right now. So it's 6 damage on board. Plus a bunch of these counters. Again, I don't think it's going to be 17 damage. But again, maybe it is. Because these guys let you play extra lands each turn. I've lost count of how many lands he's played already. Opponent. Opponent's playing with a more than 60 card deck. I just realized they're playing with a pile. A fat pile. I think that's it, because the opponent is going to attack steps right now. Oh, he's scared. The opponent is shaking in their boots. And do we just rip this right now? We do lose the fish tokens. What does the opponent lose? He loses this token right here, this one, and this one. Then he only has 2 blockers. I think we got the opponent. Yeah, sure. You can have all those back. That's fine. That's fine. Because we have 3 lands that are attacking you. We just need 2 creatures getting through. So yeah, we got the opponent. Mossborn Hydra. I don't think he plays with any instant speed stuff. Oh, he's playing with the Sapling Nursery. I'm going to hit him with the... Nice. That is nice. Props to the opponent. All right. So yeah, this one becomes a 2/2 that it does, of course, have all creature types. And this one becomes a creature, and this one becomes a creature. And these Mutavaults, I know they're deceptive, guys. They look like lands, but they have all creature types. Chronicle of Victory, can you believe it? That fish is the actual creature type that gets us the victory right there. Let's go. And I think the opponent has no cards in hand. These are just a bunch of lands in graveyard. Again, no instant speed stuff. So opponent has 2 blocks. And we have 12 damage getting through. So yeah, GG. GG. Hey there, neighbor. Welcome to the post-game wrap. And with our Valentine's boy, Oko, we played quite a few games. And I honestly had a lot of fun playing this deck. I'll be honest, though, it's not the most competitive. Just because I feel like, you know, in quite a few games against like an aggro matchup, we're just behind the 8 ball the entire time, just playing catch up. And even in games where we're not as, you know, aggroed down, if the opponent isn't a super aggro deck, I still feel like we're sometimes behind. So it does, you know, sometimes really feel like you're pulling off the comeback victories, which do feel really, really nice. I think if you wanted to make this deck a little bit more competitive, you maybe want to cut Omenpath Journey. This is one of my favorite cards, so that's why I try and include it in some of my decks every once in a while. I love its ability of just instantly being able to find 5 lands out of your library, so, you know, that does, you know, make the chance that you draw a land later in the deck or later in the game a little bit less. And of course, you do try and find a lot of utility lands, especially the ones with the surveil action, like the Meticulous Archive, because with Omenpath Journey, they do come down on your end step, so then you get to Surveil, so then your next draw step, you know what you're drawing, which is really useful. Of course, you want to try and find Fountainport as well, because while with Oko, this guy is associated with Elks. For whatever reason, he makes some Elk tokens. We play Beza, who is an Elk, and of course with his ultimate, we did name Elk, I think in a few games, but more often than not, it's those little fish right there that got us the victory. Just being able to create the fish tokens with Fountainport is really nice. Being able to do that on the opponent's end step is also really, really nice, because then, of course, they come in with Summoning Sickness, but then when it goes into our turn, then they can attack. And if we do have the Oko ult emblem, well, then it's not a 1/1 fish creature token we're creating, but it's a 4/4 with Vigilance and Hexproof, which is really, really nice. Of course, if we have Doubling Season, then it's 2 fish tokens that we're creating. And I think in a few of the games, maybe it was just one of them. No, I think it was 2 games. We got Chronicle of Victory down, also a new card from the Lorwyn Eclipse set, and I think we named Fish as well. And then, you know, Fish have +2/+2. In combination with the Oko ult, they get a +3/+3. So in total, you have a 6 power, 6 toughness fish with Vigilance, Hexproof, First Strike, and Lifelink. So absolutely ruthless, cutthroat fish are what these guys are. But yeah, I think 2 copies of Chronicles of Victory is where you want to be at. Just because, yeah, it is really expensive. If you have it in the early game, it's not the best card. Same with Doubling Season, to be honest. So yeah, if you want to make the deck a little bit more competitive, probably cut Omenpath Journey and maybe go up another copy of Split Up and maybe another copy of Pinnacle Starcage. You could also just go with a pure board wipe like Day of Judgment, because sometimes with Split Up, yeah, you know, maybe they attack with 2 creatures and they keep a big threat back to block for whatever reason, and then at their end step they play another creature that is of course untapped then. So then with Split Up, you're like, well, I can't wipe the entire board. I want to keep Oko alive, but you know, they have a flying creature. So sometimes I think just a pure board wipe would be a little bit better. Same with Pinnacle Starcage. It is a nice answer for those quick aggro matchups with 1 and 2 mana drops, but you know, people play other CMC creatures as well. So I did also change the deck a little bit to include Rest in Peace, because I have been running up against that like Elemental Kavero scam deck where they try and get Deceit into the graveyard and Bringer of the Last Gift. I think, did we play against that deck? I can't remember anymore. I think we did at one point. So yeah, I think I cut a few copies of Authority of the Consul, maybe a copy of Seam Rip just to go up. Some copies of Rest in Peace, because graveyard strategies are pretty annoying and we don't really do anything with the graveyard ourselves as well. So yeah, deck-wise, if you're getting a little bit bored of the Lorwyn Eclipse set and you're not sure what to craft, but you do have a ton of wild cards, then I would recommend crafting this deck with the Omenpath Journey, because it is a lot of fun. Trying to get to the Oko ult, whether that be with the +2 or the +1 ability, maybe you get a Doubling Season down, that is a lot of fun. But competitive-wise, this really isn't the most competitive deck. So definitely don't take it onto the ladder. But please let me know down in the comments if you guys have made a Oko deck yourselves and it is pretty competitive. I would love to check it out, just because I have really enjoyed this Planeswalker. One thing I will note as well, it happened in one of the games I lost, maybe it was on the stream on Saturday. With our 1 creature land, the Restless Anchorage, it's a land, you can have it become a creature. I gave it every single creature type with Oko's +2 ability, because normally it's just a bird, but I gave it all creature types. And then the next turn, of course, it goes back to being a land. And then the next turn when I went to attack with the Restless Anchorage, I activated him again. Unfortunately, he lost the ability that Oko gave him. And I think that is because it stops being a creature. Because if we read Oko, it says 1 target creature. And yeah, you can make this guy a creature for a single turn, but then it goes back to being a land, which unfortunately is not a creature anymore. So then he does lose the plus ability from Oko. So one thing that you could do with Oko, I never pulled it off myself, but I guess if you do get up to his ultimate, you could name the bird creature type, because this one does turn into a blue bird creature token. So then he would get the +3/+3. Vigilance and Hexproof, kind of not the most important because it does just go back to being a land. So yeah, that's just a small little interaction I noticed in one of my games as well. But yeah, I have been rambling long enough. If you guys made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing. It does help me out tremendously. And I'm just going to end it like I always end it. I love you guys. Peace out.